Hi, this is Michael. I was born in, I know this is going to sound weird, but this is where I used to live in the late 60s and early 70s. And I believe I used to live in this unit down here. But what I remember is this used to be a trail that goes up to High Tor. This used to be called the High Tor Apartments. And let's see here. As I recall, there were balconies in the back that faced the Hudson. I'm looking pretty red here, aren't I? There's sunset happening there. The reason I did not plan this. The reason I'm here is because I was driving back from a job up in Vermont this morning, and I just am passing through the spot where I was 50 years ago tonight, when adults came along and told me that there was a man on the moon. And I believe we were in this unit right here and walked over here. And I know the lunar calendars don't line up with the Julian ones, but I suppose that tree was smaller. But I remember it was up here a little bit, and somebody said man on the moon. And I think when you're 2.5, I think the moon is pretty incredible, period. So I don't think I quite understood that, but I think I sort of thought they meant like there was a man's face in the moon. I didn't quite understand the whole thing. And then if like a week later, I remember looking up and seeing the moon and going, man on the moon. And they go, no, he's back now. And I'm like I was a little confused for a while, but then I figured it out. And I think in a subsequent mission, Apollo mission, maybe, what would it have been, 12 or 14 or 15, my dad called my mom into the room and said, oh, Barbara, you got to come look at this. There was he was watching, I remember watching this, the people walking on the moon and stuff, and it was pretty wild. But anyway, this is trippy. If you ever go visit an old childhood home, it's like watching a movie. It's a little trippy, and I don't know how interesting this is going to be to anybody else, but I stood here. I believe it was, and I believe it was Ken and Cheryl McEwen living here, and the Roushers living over there. Oh, funny story, actually. My mom says that when she moved in here, the people up in that unit, I don't remember their name, had to run out. They said, listen, we're going to run out. We left the apartment unlocked. So, just go upstairs if you need anything. Just go on upstairs. Who would, you wouldn't think that, right? This was back in the Mad Men days. We must have moved in maybe 68, maybe. I must have been 2 when we moved in, so 3.5 is December I was born, so it would have been maybe 2.5 when the thing happened. And I'm cursed with having a great memory for these little things isn't always great. You remember things you wish you could forget, I suppose. But another great thing was just, I don't know why this is sticking out to me, but we had a black mailman who wanted to make sure that this little white kid wasn't, I don't know, but every day he would come by and we would play this game called Gimme 5. And I got to learn it because he was one hand, it was 5. He said, give me 10. That meant give me 10. And he did that with me. And I look forward to him every day to come and do that with me. And I thought it was so sweet that he was just going to be there. There was a superintendent named Mo. And we loved hearing that there was a swing set back. And I have an audio recording of me telling the story, but there used to be, we called him Super. And there was a swing set down there where the poles for the base of it were put into concrete that hadn't fully set before we decided to go test it out and broke it and crashed it. And it was quite an event that we had to recount for some adults. So I don't want thanks, Apollo, NASA. All the people that made that happen 50 years ago, I remember it very well, even though I didn't quite understand it at the time. And just a bizarre thing that brought me back, and I had to kind of find this place visually, really. It was a funny story, the kid rolling a tire down Route 202 that... Bad scene, but that picture of that tire rolling down 202 was the thing that made me want to remember. We moved here, I think, in 72 when I was maybe 5. It would have been a little whatever. I started, I can't remember, and I could be getting some of this stuff wrong, but I just thought maybe I would blog about this and see what comes of it. See if any other memories come up from anybody who remembers. My aunt's visiting us here. I remember. I think my Aunt Betty was here during Woodstock. That does make sense, actually. Wow, so this will be fun to share. I don't know. Maybe it's stupid. I don't know. But it's pretty cool. It's like watching a movie. If you ever get the chance to do this and go see a place where where you grew up, I would take it, especially when it brings back a memory of a momentous occasion like this, 50 years from the date that humans first took a step onto the moon. That's a pretty incredible feat, and it feels neat to have been, I don't want to say a part of history, but being around and observing it in a way that was really special. Anyway, take care. Happy Saturday night.